Welcome back once again to The Pulse. We're still on the wire. We're still talking about tournament results, and GSL Code S has just made it through its final round of 32 games. Frodan has been watching the games oh so closely. Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the GSL and what's been going on?
That's right, Ben. I've been leaning in forward so much this Code S that my prescription has jumped up another 10 points. Guys, there's a lot of storylines in the second half of Code S. How will the Legends MVP and Nesty do? Is parting going to be worth his $9,000 a month contract? And how will Viva La Roche Stefano fare in the last group, the epic match that everyone's been waiting for? The answers will begin in Group E. And with the first 8 players safely secured into the round of 16, action got heated immediately in Group E. And after reaching the semifinals of Season 5 last year and retooled with new practice partners in Axiom, Ryung would have to overcome the resurging Losira, who looked like a man en fuego. Losira showed his definition of the term power creep by spreading the tumors and constantly pushing with ultras everywhere. Losira looked like he had a Pokemon Center of ZVT. Losira used Transfuse, Ryung used Terran Defense, it was not effective, and Ryung used TVZ Balance Wine. And hot off his recent transfer to SK Telecom, Parting, the last Protoss to play in the round of 32, showed why he is completely worth his contract as he annihilated his opponents with vintage Parting Army control.
Oh, wait, no, he didn't. Oh, that was so good. Man. Well, Parting is good, man. Holy crap. Well.
The Soul Train aims for its next destination, the round of 16. Ryung would have to test his battle against Byun in an exhilarating TVT that came down to Game 3 as Byun takes a large economic advantage in trading with his bio, but Ryung would turtle cost efficiently, which would lead to a reenactment of Boxer versus Rain.
Oh, craziness! Oh my god, I don't even know what I'm seeing. I don't even know what that is. Oh my god, Byun actually pushed it back. He did, but there's Vikings left.
That's right, Byun pushing back, but Ryung, after 55 minutes, completes the comeback by taking a StarCraft Brood War TVT route, biding his time and expanding slower, and by maintaining a steady income and fighting efficiently, Byun eventually stars out. Ryung will receive another chance at Losira, but it was the same story as Losira bookended his night with strong ZVT Ultra Queen domination and securing his spot into the round of 16. We move on to Group F, where last week everyone was hoping for a renaissance from MVP, who became the second person to claim the Nesty Award for 10 consecutive Code S appearances. We head to Game 3 on Whirlwind. MVP falls behind early, but spots unsieged tanks and charges forward. However, MVP gets overeager and Keen flanks perfectly to wipe the rest of MVP's army. From there, he had zero map control and little units to defend against King's drop as his base is ravaged from the inside out. And with no future in this game or series, MVP is forced to tap out. In the losers match, MVP would have to rely on his Terran versus Zerg to get past Roro, fabled as the best Samsung Con Zerg. However, the once unbeatable TVZ god was smacked down from the heavens by the Hive Tech Zerg, as the series did not end at that moment, but the mood was solemn as Tastosis sat virtually silent watching MVP hopelessly stall the game for an additional 10 minutes. Perhaps the only person happy about MVP's Skyfall was MKP, whom, like Nesty, many have written off as a memory of the Halcyon days of Wings of Liberty. With stellar micro and solid play, MKP blazed past Roro and advanced to the winner's match. We head to Game 2 where everything went perfect, I swear everything, for King's Proxy Reaper opening against a 1 Marine reactor opening. But once MKP stabilized, he again reminds us why he is called the Marauder King. That's what the MK stands for, right?
You know, the Marauders, they're just too tanky.
This was awesome.
Sick micro, he picked it up.
Did MKP just get out of this group without playing for MVP?
Yeah,
I think he did.
He successfully dodged MVP. It's like, assuming that this.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, that was so badass.
He's showing off now. Look at those. Those things are like bunnies. They're hopping in and out. Look at that. You're never going to die,
I stopped casting and just started staring.
I just figured out
That was so sick.
Absolutely jaw-dropping play as Marine King moves on to the round of 16. Keen would never quite look the same as his series against Roro is perfectly encapsulated by his attempt at defending the center of Daybreak with planetaries multiple times. 4 command centers and planetaries were taken out in a matter of 10 minutes as Keen gets broken time and time again by Roro's never-ending pressure. Roro grabs the second spot in the group and King, deflated, will only make appearances on Reddit with hand-clap gifs. Group G, everyone was excited for because Nasty was back in Code S. His first opponent would be the recovering Tasia, the ailing ace of EGTL. Nesty seemed to be on the rise with recent third placing at Iron Squid and winning his up and down group, but his play that night would look more like Zergbong of GSL Season 1 Open. Units on a missed rally, Roach Bane, disorganization, and inactive infestors, Tastosis summarized it perfectly.
Attack smoothly here. 4 infestors not casting a spell. The 5th has been.
That was a complete and total disaster. That was
Disaster indeed, as disappointing can only summarize Nesty's start. His final chance would be against Noblesse, but like many Mr. Bitter games on ladder, it started off so well, but ended so poorly. Nesty squanders an enormous lead by sending only his Broodlords to engage a moderately prepared Terran army, allowing Noblesse to challenge for the number 2 spot in the group. In spite of his rough night, Nesty ends this Wings of Liberty GSO with 3 championships, 2 of them back-to-back in 2011. But on the other side of the group, it would be a different kind of veteran Zerg that would impress tonight, as Sulky would give a raw demonstration of why Kespa players are to be feared in StarCraft 2.
Now going to the SCs. SCs already. What?
Look at that splitting. Oh, man, that was nice. Some of these SCVs.
Oh, move the Banelings up. Oh.
And getting rid of.
Units heading to siege tank.
Sulky.
Sulky might have actually completely disarmed his opponent here.
Oh,
man. Best friends.
Look at this. Oh!
Multitasking, aggression, counterattacks, creep spread, burrowing banelings right in the face of Tasia's units. Tasia looked like a chump. He couldn't keep up whatsoever as Sulky advances effortlessly using an overwhelming tempo-based style. The match of the night would be Game 3, though, of the last series between Tasia and Noblesse. And as Artosis explains, Tasia opens bio, but he uses Sky Terran to initially pressure the tanks while taking more bases and setting up additional factories. This has allowed him to exchange supply and negate the tank advantage in order to set up a contain as Noblesse runs out of steam. And Tasia claims the 2nd spot and moves on. We move on to the final group as with 14 players decided, 4 players, including Ilya Satori, aka E.G. Stefano, would duke it out for the remaining 2 spots. In the first match, Stefano looked good for the first 10 minutes as he got an ideal cross-spawn position and a quick uninterrupted hive. Nonetheless, Innovation kept churning out units while continually double dropping Stefano's tech, and Stefano could not keep up with Innovation's pace. Stefano loses all of his exterior expansions and cannot keep up his macro. Even though he fights back and masses a sizable army, he cannot remake any of his army or even tech switch due to limited resources. The EG Zerg would drop the first game and completely get build order countered in Game 2 by 4 factory Blue Flame Hellions. Innovation rolls Stefano 2-0, and at the end of the match, Stefano said that he was overthinking the match a little bit and just needed to play his game. Meanwhile, amidst all the Stefano hype lurked Donragu, who came off a brilliant performance in Iron Squid, barely losing the life 3-4. In this group, he hit the ground running with hitting the hammer down, hand over fist. Donragu was in the mindset of taking no prisoners in his group. Using his absolute savage and vintage mid-game multitasking in Zerg vs. Terran with Mutilating Bane, DRG said, "Who's the best Zerg in MVP? It's not Sniper, it's me." Donragu advances 4-0 without skipping a beat of the drum. This would mean that Stefano had an opportunity to see Innovation's TVZ weakness and get one last chance to prove to the world why he is the greatest non-Korean StarCraft 2 player. We kick it to Game 2, where Stefano copies DRG's Mutilating Bane style to effectively crush any Terran push. The undulating waves of Zerg forces would wail upon Innovation's walls time and time again, but would it be enough to take out Innovation for good?
He starts to lose his investors. There's a lot of medevacs here. He needs just a few more bungles. Takes out the planetary, though. Set up flanks. He's doing it now. He actually goes to a 3-pronged attack. This is 3 different directions here. Stefano comes in. Ultimates from every angle. He's got so many bungles available to him as well. Good bungles here. Every single unit's bungled in. GG. I don't think I've ever seen someone GG with 180 supply. Have you?
No, Wolf, I did not, because Innovation, his complete momentum has been taken out of him, but the atmosphere was electric as Game 3, the winner would advance to the round of 16. Innovation pushes with a big cheese 6-rack stim time bio, but if Stefano stabilized, the game would be his. However, Innovation punches through the initial barrier as Stefano tries one last desperate attempt, but Innovation's control is too good as Innovation would advance to the round of 16 as the last foreign hope has been eliminated from GSL, making the round of 16 only Zergs, Terrans, and Protosses from the land of Korea. That wraps up the round of 16. We have a quick graph to show the race distribution of the round of 16. And that graphic is not updated for the last group. There actually is 8 Zergs and 5 Terrans and 3 Protosses. But nonetheless, Zerg, the overwhelming favorite. And if we look at the last graph, we have those who advanced. And a fun fact that MVP ends Wings of Liberty with 6 finals appearances out of 12 Coda S tournaments.
Wow.
50%. So
Pretty
MVP
incredible.
is still pretty good.
He's still MVP.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. GSL's been so much fun. The games have been so exciting, and it is definitely the premier individual league in the world, man. It's been just awesome.
It has made me very sad over the course of the last week.
Man.
Somehow, like, everything that I'm cheering for goes wrong. And normally I can live with that, but certainly when it's Ilyas there and I feel that he was so close and
One game away.
there was so much at stake and everyone was waiting for it for so long. It made me very sad. I haven't been that sad for a while.
Yeah,
And watching Nesty
lose.
lose made me very sad too, because I want to hear way more Nesty casts.
Not only that, to go out like that too, you know, like
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
cheated.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really
But
did.
I really feel that like Whirlwind was just not his map. Like,
Stefano?
yeah, like it's I feel that it's a great map for Stefano once the game like starts stabilizing between 15 and 25 minutes. I feel like in that part of the game he's probably very good at it, but I feel like early in the game you could just see that he probably did not have those hundreds of games on that map as some other guys might have.
You know, I was a little bit. The first series he played against Innovation, the Cloud Kingdom game, I was very surprised that he allowed himself to lose to a Blue Flame Hellion build like that, because like we all know Stefano's style, and we all know the most glaring weaknesses to playing Zergling only, and the fact that he didn't catch any signs of a Blue Flame Hellion opening until it was in his natural really surprised me.
Yeah, I think just like Stefano said, and I kind of mentioned it in the recap, but he really was overthinking. He thought that Innovation would know that Stefano likes going Roach, like 1+1. And so he's like, all right, so in order to do that, I'm going to go Ling and Fester. And then Innovation just made Hellions. So he mind gained himself.
Yeah, Stefano is in a different environment with a different training regimen, correct? Do you think that's affecting him at all? Is he maybe focusing too much on the game?
No, not at all. I really feel that like this is definitely good for Stefano. I feel that he played some great StarCraft. I mean, the game on Echelon Waste.
Yeah,
was
Echelon Flats.
Man, I was like, I was just
That's
sitting there. I
triple
was like,
flank.
Oh, he looks great, man.
was
And like at
screaming,
that
I was so
moment, I was like,
happy.
oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
And I was like, now he has it. No, after this game, there's no way he's gonna lose. And then I see 6 Rexes going up, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. He's like 5 in the morning, going to bed. Just
I mean, I think for his first attempt, this was definitely a reasonable performance, at least. I think he showed that he's capable of messing with the big boys.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
he showed that so many times
Yeah.
already, but even in Kodas, no.
Did you see the way he played against Hack, though? Like, it just, I mean, he
Yeah.
completely destroyed him 2-0, easy peasy. He did a simple timing, he died. He played macro, he died. So Stefano can beat those Koreans. But Innovation, that, like, even if he faced against Dong Ragu, he had a very tough group to advance past those two guys. Stefano can absolutely compete. It's just, I think it depends on what day of the
Yeah.
week it is.
But I mean, I think for the first try, he did finally give it a go. I think this is awesome. I think this training in Korea is still good for him. I'm not sure how long he's planning to stay. But certainly, like for instance, we saw IEM Hanover coming up in March. I definitely think that Stefano's eyes are probably going to go straight to Hanover from here on.
Yeah, it's certainly a tournament that he's very capable of winning
Yep.
if he can, I guess, solve the ZVZ issue that he's had in the past.
Yeah. There are not too many world-class Zergs, though.
But Violet is there.
Yeah,
And
those
Violet
two
and
are fine.
Stefano.
Maybe symbol.
Violet and Stefano's history is kind of like Stefano and Grubby's history. So,
Well, no, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was a fantastic week of Kodas. The new groups are announced as well. They look baller. I'm a little bit sad, as we said already, that 3 fan favorites did go out.
Man.
But I'm still stoked as hell for the playoffs, for the second group
4
stage.
fan favorites, man. This has been a heartbreaking GSL to watch, man. MVP, Nesty, Stefano, and Huck all out in the round of 32, which does beg the question, what is the biggest heartbreak of this, the final Wings of Liberty GSL Code S? Lauren Leese, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Pulse poll.
All right, we're gonna have another question of the night. I guess we're not in the night right now.
It's not
are we?
nighttime. It is
not night. I'm so
almost
used to it.
For Europeans.
Yeah.
For Europeans.
For Europeans,
All
yeah.
right, all you Euros.
Shout out to the Euros that are watching, by the way.
We did this for you.
We did.
Here's your question, guys. What was it's all
It's
over.
hard. They're just words.
What
You can do it.
is the biggest heartbreak of the GSL? Is it MVP, Nesty, Stefano, or Huck? A, B, C, or D? Voting starts right now and will end after this very short commercial break.
That's right, guys. When we come back, it's the hot topic. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about League of Legends. Oh, man. We'll be right back.